Hello and welcome to Unity of Fredericksburg. My name is Linda and I'm pleased to welcome all of you to the Unity of Fredericksburg weekly online gathering. At Unity of Fredericksburg, we are advancing the movement of spiritual awakening and transformation through unity, positive path for spiritual living. We thank those of you watching on YouTube live or later and invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're able to attend live, we encourage you to join us in the Zoom community room for the full Sunday morning experience, including music, prayer, and connection. Our weekly newsletter includes the Sunday service link, and you can subscribe to receive that on our website at uofva.org. For everyone local to Central Virginia, Unity of Fredericksburg offers a variety of fun and enriching in-person gatherings every month. Subscribe to our weekly newsletter at uofva.org for all the details. Our message today comes from our minister, Reverend Cheryl Fair. And now, here's Reverend Cheryl.
Thank you, Linda, and welcome everyone who is in the Zoom room with me right now. And those of you watching on YouTube, whether you're watching now or later, we appreciate you being a part of the energy that is Unity of Fredericksburg. Our broadcast date today is Sunday, January 4th, 2026. So Happy New Year, everyone. We are still in the midst of the holiday season. We're still in the midst of the 12 days of Christmas. And the 12 days of Christmas are sometimes counted from Christmas Day or the day after. We do the day after, which makes today the 10th day of Christmas. So I hope all of you are looking forward to your gift of 10 lords a leaping from the one who the one who loves you. Whatever, 10 lords a leaping. And we are headed towards that 12th day of Christmas, which is also known as Epiphany, January the 6th. And historically, that's where festivals and activities like 12th night festivals happen on Epiphany. So last Sunday, we did the annual ritual called the Burning Bowl ceremony. And as we come up on Epiphany, it is a great time today for us to do our white stone ceremony, which is a tradition in Unity Ministries to do the white stone ceremony. So just a reminder for everyone, in case you need to go and grab something, you do need a couple of little supplies. So many of you who are members were provided with a white stone. So you need to have your white stone handy. You could also use a piece of paper if you want to, or you could use something like a seashell. I have a seashell right here that I can use, and you'll want something to write with. A pencil is good, or maybe a Sharpie kind of pen, so that you can write something that comes to you later on. Now, if you know yourself to be someone that writes a lot, that does a lot of journaling, I would suggest have a journal, some paper handy to do that. When it comes to the white stone ceremony, we're going to be looking for like 1 or 2 words. That's all. So you'd want to do your journaling on the side and have your stone or your shell or your little piece of paper ready for that 1 word. So if you find that the pace of how we go through things today is too fast for you, just remember, you can always go back and watch the recording and do it again at a time that suits you better or at a pace that suits you better. So that's a lot of the business. Let's kind of start moving into the white stone ceremony for today. So I invite you to take whatever it is that you are going to use and hold it in your hand and fill it with your energy and affirm your willingness and openness to realizing inspiration today. So we are inviting Spirit within today to reveal the highest intention for 2026 in the form of a word or two. And it could be a new name, an evolving spiritual identity for yourself. So as we go through our time together today, just feel whenever it feels right for you, you can write something on that stone or on the shell. We're going to spend some time in meditation. I'll guide you through the whole process. So just do it in whatever way works for you. So as you hold that white stone in your hand, know that you are starting 2026 with a clean slate. Now, we can claim a clean slate anytime in our lives. And today, especially, we lean into at the beginning of the year that energy of a fresh start, of expanding awareness, of new ideas, like the name Epiphany, which is coming on January the 6th. Now, as we mentioned last week, we did our burning bowl. So we released thoughts, beliefs, and circumstances that no longer serve our highest good. And then our step today with the white stone is to claim the next steps for our personal and spiritual growth. Now, there is a history to the white stone ceremony. So the history of the white stone and the meaning of the white stone goes all the way back to the time of the Roman Empire, when white stones were given to those who were released from prison or from slavery, or were gone to trial and found innocent. People were given a white stone, like a clean slate. And for those who had been in whatever that form of bondage that they were in, this white stone represented freedom and innocence and safe passage. So it would be like their papers that they could show, a new identity. So take a breath right now, my friends, and just lean into that sense of having a clean slate. And just take a moment to reflect on whatever your experience was with the burning bowl, and recall that sense of release as you let go things that were no longer serving your highest good. Remember that cleansing feeling of having those old thoughts and beliefs just cleared away. And now take a moment to feel the open space that was created with that activity. Space for potential, for possibilities. Feel the energy of freedom that is yours to set new intentions, to claim a new identity. So we talked about the historical basis for the white stone ceremony. There's also a foundation in scripture. For those of you who like to hear a little bit of scripture, the white stone ceremony is based on a phrase from the second chapter of Revelation. So here's what it says. To everyone who conquers, I will give some of the hidden manna, and I will give a white stone. And on the white stone is written a new name that no one knows except the one who receives it. So we always like to, anything that comes from scripture, we really like to dive into it in unity and not really take it on the surface level, the literal meaning of the words, but we like to get into the metaphysics of it. What does it mean beyond that? And unity, based on the approach that we learned from our founder, Charles Fillmore. Charles Fillmore described the Bible as the story of the evolution of human consciousness. And so anytime we approach some scripture, we can approach that from the level of the evolution of our own consciousness and decide in this moment, using the unity tools that we have, what it means for you right here and right now. So we're going to do that with this scripture from Revelation. I'm going to take it kind of one line at a time. All right. So the first line is, to everyone who conquers. Now, I'm going to ask you, is there anyone here who has not experienced overcoming a challenge? I don't think so. Each and every one of us has made it through the worst day of our lives to be here right now, right? Each and every one of us has worked through hardship. Each and every one of us has overcome or conquered some circumstance. So that's a bright light to say, look, this little bit of scripture is here for you, right here, right now. To everyone who conquers. The next line is, I will give some of the hidden manna. Now, manna means bread, and bread in metaphysical terms means sustenance, spiritual sustenance. So, particularly hidden manna, which means we're not talking about the bread that's on your table that you made for toast that you might have had for breakfast. We're talking about spiritual sustenance. So the hidden manna, because it's not in the physical world, is derived from the higher levels of being within us, right? It nourishes the soul and then it nourishes the body. It benefits the whole being. And we talk about, in Unity, we talk about having a three levels of existence. So spirit, mind, and body. So this is nourishment that goes beyond your human senses. Again, we're not talking about things that your human eyes hear and see and your ears hear. We are preparing to realize the hidden sustenance. Here's the next bit of the scripture. And I will give a white stone, and on the white stone is written a new name that no one knows except the one who receives it. So, if for those of you who like scripture, if you look at the Bible, there are lots of stories of people's names changing, right? People getting new names, and even in the Gospels with Jesus calling his disciples. In the stories there, he gives them names. He renames them, right? So this is something that is very meaningful. When we are born, we are given a name, right? We're given a name by our trusted adults, and names have meaning, and names often represent our spiritual capacities. And there are times when we take on a new name, right? When we change our name or we add a title, when we have a certain accomplishment that, something that makes us, have a new name, a new title. So there are a lot of life transitions that have to do with changing names, and in indigenous cultures, naming ceremonies are a part of life transitions into adulthood. So all of this has to, what we're doing today is creating space for a new name, right? Or a new intention or a path to be revealed. So we're looking for one or two words. Now it could be just an intention that you have for the year to come. So it could be a word like peace or compassion or something like that that could come up for you. It can be more of a role that is being revealed to you, like caregiver or teacher or advocate. Just be open to whatever possibilities are coming up for you. We know that big changes can happen anytime in life. And I have shared this story with you all before, but I'll do it again because I really enjoy sharing this story every now and then. And it's the story of my grandmother, Ruth Fair, who she was a teenager. Believe she was like 16 years old when she married my grandfather. They were in a little tiny town in Iowa called Coyne, Iowa. And my grandfather had gotten an offer to work on a farm in Wyoming. And he wanted my grandmother to go with him. And so they got married very young. and went off to Wyoming, to Warland, Wyoming, where my father was raised and his sister. And my grandmother just immediately went from being a teenage girl to being the wife of a farm manager and, managing all the things on the home front while my grandfather was running the farm. And one of the things that she always regretted was not finishing her education. So education was a huge priority for her as she was raising my father and his sister. And they went to school every day, no matter how cold it was. After they'd done their farm chores, they went to school. And she made sure that they both got a good education. Both of them went on to advanced degrees and all of that. And yet, there was my grandmother in her older years as uh, kind of getting to the point where she realized, and after my grandfather died, that she still kind of had a space that hadn't been fulfilled in her. And so at the age of 65, my grandmother went and completed her GED. She went and completed, so she could be a high school graduate. And that, of course, helped her with the job that she was holding and whatever. So at the age of 65, she gave herself a new name. She wrote something on her stone and said, "This is what I'm going to be," something that she hadn't been able to do when she was younger. So that I share that with you as a little inspiration that these kind of moments can come along anytime in our life. So we're going to get ready for some extended time of meditation today so that you have some space and time to uh, realize whatever's bubbling up for you. And I have a quote for you before we go into meditation. And oh, wait, no, I just wanted to revisit this bit of scripture again. So, to everyone who conquers, I will give some of the hidden manna, and I will give a white stone, and on the white stone is written a new name that no one knows except the one who receives it. So now we're going to move into our time of meditation. So take a deep breath with me, my friends. A couple of deep breaths. As we surrender our human mind and the ego and allow the energy of the universe to speak to us in the silence, we make space for unlimited possibilities to be made manifest in our lives. As we create space in consciousness, we open ourselves to unlimited possibilities, unlimited potential. We consciously invite the activity of spirit to come alive in our hearts and minds for the next few minutes. As we settle into the stillness, perhaps there is a new opportunity or quality or purpose that divine love wants to express through you. Give your human brain, your ego, a few minutes of rest and let the divine holy self in you come through. Give yourself permission to know the space of divinely guided wisdom. Rest easy in the stillness. And anytime you feel ready, write whatever comes up for you on the stone. It could be a word or a name. And if all is quiet for you and nothing comes through, don't let that be a worry. This process of revealing and realizing may take more time than the time we have here today. No matter what your experience, be gentle with yourself and rest in the silence I'm starting a timer here so that I know how long we will be in the silence, longer than we usually are. But I'll be watching the timer. Let's begin our time in the stillness now together. As we begin to bring our awareness back to the here and now, I invite you to hold the white stone in your hand and see it as a symbol of a new life energy. See it as a symbol of who you have become, who you are becoming, who you would like to become. Feel the presence of all that is and know your oneness with that which we call God. Feel that loving presence as it surrounds you and supports you. Know that right now you are safe and secure. You are loved and supported by the one presence and the one power at the center of your being. So we've completed our time of meditation now. And in the year to come, anytime you look at your white stone, realize that you have the gift of choice, the gift to think differently, believe differently, live differently, begin anew, not just today, but any day that you choose. And realize that whatever it is that has come up for you or is coming up for you, that if you're still processing that, it's likely to be the first step of a process, right? So once you have a word or a name, or your consciousness will begin to organize itself around that. So here's a quote from Unity founder Charles Fillmore in Talks on Truth. Your word is the power through which you make your belief manifest. Simple belief in or assent to the truth of a proposition never gave understanding to anyone. There must be mental action. Organic changes in the mind are necessary before the new state of consciousness takes up its abode in you. So, whatever has come up or is coming up for you, hold it softly, my friends. Encourage it gently. Some of us may feel the desire to share it with others. It may be something that that encourages collaboration and bringing in other people's energy. And some of us may want to keep it to ourselves for a while and just kind of let it simmer in the background, as Jesus suggested in Scripture. When it comes to prayer, sometimes it's good for us to just go into our room and close the door. So you may have that feeling around what it is that is coming up for you. So either way is good. It's likely for many of us, those of you who know yourselves to be in the mind, in the human brain a lot, it's likely that your human brain will want to step in and guide the process. Highly likely. And it's possible that your brain will want to start evaluating what's come up for you and giving you the pros and cons and being skeptical and things like that. So do what you can, my friends, to hold a sacred boundary for yourself around whatever it is that has come up. It's not the space for your human brain to come in right now. Let it be a sacred space of spirit, kind of without all of the influences of the outer world coming in. Just hold it gently and in an encouraging kind of way. Here's a quote from Unity Minister James Dillett Freeman in The Prayer is the Master Key. There will be night, but we are children of the light. We are meant for the deep, not the shallows. We came out of it, we return into it. It is our native element, a spiritual dimension. We are spiritual beings, and we were made for soul faring. Isn't that a nice term? Soul faring. So the journey of the soul. So allow whatever has come up for you today to be a part of that journey of the soul. And I have one more juicy quote for you before we finish off today. And this is from Unity founder Myrtle Fillmore in How to Let God Help You. As you change your thinking and bring it into line with truth principles, a transformation will take place in your consciousness. Your mind will become keen, awake, alert, illumined, and your body temple will be filled with new life. You will be inspired with new and practical ideas that will enable you to succeed in a larger way. So we are grateful And we rejoice whatever it is that has been realized today, whether it's an ongoing process or a nice, clear aha moment, or just the gift of having time in the stillness together. Along with this experience comes the power and the guidance that's within you to achieve whatever it is that you desire. We are on the path to greater insights and a deeper awareness of the presence of spirit as us. As the saying goes, behold, all things are made new. So accept this consciousness of ever increasing good in your life and carry your stone as a reminder of that promise. So that's it for today, my friends. Thank you so much for being here. And I'm going to hand it over to our friend Linda.
Thank you, Reverend Cheryl. And thank you all for watching the weekly broadcast from Unity of Fredericksburg. Visit our website, uofva.org, to learn more about our mission of spiritual awakening and transformation, and support our ministry with your financial donation. Thanks again for watching, and see you next time.